Well, hey, and welcome everybody. I'm so excited to be here with you today. Today is August 19th, 2020, and this is your Team Prosperity Wednesday training. I am so excited to be here, and I've got a few things that I'm hoping will help and bring value. And then I know Mike's got a great presentation that he's going to share with us. So let me go ahead and grab mine, and then we'll just go ahead and get started. So it's a really exciting time for the business right now. Things are really moving. We're getting really busy. I hope you all are feeling it too. And of course, we're always here for you to help in any way possible. So you just have to let us know. Of course, we have our virtual convention coming up. That's going to be coming up September 12th. It's going to be, on our regular Saturday time. It's just going to run a little bit longer than the regular Saturday meeting. You could see some of the speakers here. Some, of course, like me and Mike are from Virtual Financial. Then there's going to be some special guest speakers from WealthWave, as well as Outstand and some different kinds of people. So it's going to be great. We're really looking forward to it. It would be a great event to invite people to. So if you need a copy of the flyer, please let me know. So I'm always trying to add value, like I said. Today what I wanted to do is just go over a few helpful hints to help you build your business. And I'm constantly thinking about bringing value, whether it's to business partners, whether it's to my clients or potential clients, existing clients, or even to the meeting today. So I'm going to go over a few things that really help me. First thing that I want to talk about is the virtual brochure, and I've got the direct link to it, and this is definitely something that I go over on the Tier 6 with everybody ever since it came out. And if you need the virtual brochure, let me know, but I just wanted to go over a few highlights of it. It's 8 pages long. And there's different ways that you can share it. You can download it, print it to a PDF. There's a direct link that you can send out. That's the part that I like. You can share it through, Google. There's all kinds of ways that you can do it, but it really gives a good overview of what we're doing. We're helping families. We have our missions here that it talks about. There's a dramatic need for what we're doing. So it talks a little bit about that, the dramatic situation in most households, how we're a different kind of company, the financial needs analysis, a great snapshot of their existing situation, where they're trying to go. It's a huge service that we provide, for free, no cost, no obligation. And on the business building side, we have all kinds of great tools to help you succeed. Solid technology, a proven system, growth potential, life-changing events, smart marketing, back office support, helpful training, recognition, and we have this amazing tier system that nobody else has. So again, this virtual brochure is a great marketing tool. It has been approved by everybody, home office, etc. So you can use all of it or part of it, for marketing. Talks about the different roles. Again, nobody else has this. Numbers that are, okayed by the home office for compensation. It's got this great picture of the virtual model versus the traditional industry. It talks a little bit about our philosophy and our values and how our system is changing lives. It's got some quotes here. It's got one from me, one from Gary, Doug, Greg, Thomas, etc. It's got all the right disclosures, and it does tell them that the next step is to get with the person that gave them this brochure. So if you need this, please let me know. And let me just pop back right over to my presentation here. Get back to where I was. Okay, so the next thing that I want to talk about is finding your follow-up system, right? Whether it's a daily to-do list, a system like the daily activity sheet and the 12-week year, anything that helps you. I'll go over a little bit about the way that I structure mine. I've got my 12-week year, but on that same sheet, I've got a bunch of tabs. If you could see them here in red, I've got my week, I've got my daily schedule, I've got my group tracker, and then I've got some other stuff that I was doing manually that now I've automated, that I don't keep track of that much. But just wanted to show you what I do, every day is I keep track of my weekly plan. That's my 3 goals with the tactics. Keep, up with my daily schedule. And then all of my stuff I put in the CRM. So this is just a little snippet of today. Even if it's a flexible follow-up, like maybe we've already talked and they're reviewing, I don't want them to slip through the cracks, I will put like flexible follow-up time today. Of course, I've got all my tier appointments. You can see I have a tier 1 and tier 6. I had a long calendar today. I just grabbed a little snippet, but this will help me follow up with these people until they're resolved. I'll move them a few times. They'll get a few follow-ups. And then one of the last times that I spoke, I showed my real chicken scratchy LinkedIn intro call follow-up list. That was really starting to get hard to read, honestly. So I moved them over to a spreadsheet where now I can just click on the name and it goes right to their LinkedIn profile. So that makes it easy for me with the last follow-up date. And that way I could do a few follow-ups on the people that did say, yeah, they want to do an intro call. I just don't want to let anybody slip through the cracks. We work so hard on getting in front of people and having them say, yes, I'd love to speak with you. We just don't want to not follow up on that. So for me, to get better organized in order to open up more conversations and not let anybody slip through the cracks, that's what I'm working on. And getting on the phone more, which again is going to lead to resolving those leads faster and giving me more free time to talk to more people, find more solutions for more problems that people are having in the marketplace, finding the right business, etc. And I do this every single day using some tools and some automation. And these are some of the things that I use, pretty much every single day. Lightshot is a free screen capture tool. It is like the easiest thing ever. You press print screen and you can copy, you can save, you can mark, you can do whatever you want to. It's a pretty amazing tool. Lightshot, I use it all the time. If you just Google Lightshot, download it. It might be a Chrome extension if I'm not mistaken, so I'm usually using Google Chrome for this. If you need help, let us know. I'm sure Mike's got a video about it, but it's pretty easy. Most of you already have it and have it downloaded. You can download it on any device pretty much. GMass. I just use the free one, 50 a day. I send 50 follow-up emails, having people take a look at what we're doing again. Currently, I'm going through my list of dumped people that I have phone numbers for. I'm putting them all on a spreadsheet, taking out the bad phone numbers, so I'm building data too that I can follow up with every time I do a GMass. It gives you a report. And you just grab the whole list of 50 and put it on a spreadsheet. Real easy. Sniply is another great free marketing tool. You can Sniply pretty much any article and put your own little advertisement on the bottom. They give you 1,000 free clicks, which I have never used even 25% of that. So I've never even had to do the paid account because I've always used the free one. And then Linked Helper. Now this is kind of like a gray area, I'll be honest with you, because LinkedIn doesn't like any third-party tools at all. So if you use it sparingly. Mike's got a ton of videos about, the best way to do it. It's something that helps me automate so I don't have to put something on a spreadsheet all the time. But it's definitely a personal choice. All of these tools are. But these are things that help me, every single day. Another thing that I have done in the last week or two that I found to be really powerful was headhunting one great warm market prospect at a time. Especially if it's an old girlfriend, for example, I saw a few weeks ago one of my friends is starting a bakery again, and I reached out to her and I was basically, what are you doing? Don't do that. Do this instead. You know what I mean? And it's just your friends, your warm market, you just kind of never stop going back to it because people's situations change and you can find different solutions for them. So if it's a common market or a warm market, you might want to start a conversation with them versus putting them into a linked helper that's going to send them in a group or something like that. So use other social media channels. Facebook is a good one. I'm really just starting to talk to just a few friends every single week. and it's helping me build some traction. It's just another one of those funnels that you're building, towards people looking at what you're doing. And I do it every day, right? I make it happen every single day. There's no excuses. And my hardest thing is to avoid distraction. Getting focused and getting organized for me is an ongoing battle. So, but I do, I try to do it every day. I try to get better every day. I try to learn every day, like a little sponge. So that's pretty much what I have. Live in the, moment wisely. All we have is now, and, we're in a great place. So just lean on your leaders. Let us know how we can help you. Let me go ahead and grab Mike. Give me just 1 second. Thank you so much. Everybody else.
All right, you guys. Hope you guys are doing well. I just got out of a meeting with a small office, Realty, explaining to them how to use, at their ages, which they were all in their early 20s, how to use a vehicle like the IUL for cash value, and using that to become a self-bank in their industry for real estate. And the main thing that I got after I was done, which is just literally minutes before I got onto this, is I just didn't know this existed. Can I have a meeting with you? So what Alana's talking about, and what's very important, is you guys just need to open conversations. And it's not about pitching. It's not about selling. It's about uncovering information that you guys can use to introduce what you have on the backside, either a business opportunity or a client service or a solution. We did change the way that the Facebook activities are handled, and I think it's going to become more interactive. So I try to look like we always talk about. I want to see where the puck's going to be, not where it is right now. And we learned that from the Wayne Gretzky quote. So I want to see, a few years down the road, how do we make this interactive so that somebody's upline or downline can be interactive through this? And this is the best way. So on Sunday, I'll post it, and we'll have some type of this one. We went on Reggie Jackson, Mr. October. He had one magical night, 3 home runs, and a World Series game. He also holds the major league record for most strikeouts in a career. So the question was, are you striking out enough to become successful? And then what we do is we just post using the template what our week was. We can give any type of feedback. I just took a sample right here. You can see Michael Eisbrenner was real frank and to the point. Need to use the phone. And then we'll get back. Hey, Michael, pretty decent week, this or that. And so this is going to be interactive because there's people on the sideline that are not participating doing this that probably have questions they're too afraid to ask that will be put in here. They'll get answers to. So it's got more than one value for us. We're coming up on the last couple weeks of the 12-week year. Remember, all we're trying to do with this is give everybody an opportunity to outwork and outproduce their competition. Yes, virtual advantage, digital advantage, all this stuff, but you also have an internal advantage within yourself to outwork everybody and get what they get done in a 4-year period of time in 12 months. That's all we're trying to do. It's a process. It can be grueling. It can be tough to look at yourself and self-inventory, but at the end of the day, it's the only way to grow. So we invite you guys, and we start this up in a number of weeks to join us this time. You're going to put the odds in your favor when you start to do the things extra that other people are not willing to do. So put the odds in your favor. Work hard, be accountable, stay positive, ignore the haters, and keep your vision. A lot of this stuff is internalized in systems that we have, programs like the 12-week year, but a lot of this has to do with your own mindset, getting up and understanding that, yes, this is about making a lot of money, but more importantly, this is about servicing the open marketplace on the partner and the client side with legitimate avenues, roadmaps, and vehicles that can get them to their own personal goals and dreams, which will fuel ours as well. Going forward, and right now, average doesn't pay, but going forward, average is really not going to pay. So the self-discipline is what's going to connect your goals to the accomplishment. If your bridge of self-discipline is riddled with potholes or it's missing some of the structure, you got to go in and you got to repair it. So you have to know what you're doing. You have to know what results you're getting. And if those results are not where you want to be, then look at that bridge of what's going on in the day-to-day activity. You'll find the answers and the solutions there. Focus on what you want to happen. Too many people on the client and partner side, they focus and they start worrying. And when you worry about stuff, remember the laws of attraction are going to give you whatever you focus on. If you're worrying, that's nothing for praying for what you don't want to happen. Focus on what you want to happen and teach your partners and clients to do the same. And all of a sudden, we go from that fixed mindset where we worry to a growth mindset about possibilities. And that unleashes new conversations. And setting goals is the first step to turning the invisible into the visible. So if you're talking to a partner or client and they have no goals, it's a problem, guys, because how am I going to help them get somewhere where they don't even know where they want to go? So one of the things I look for first as a filter is the cash flow quadrant. Where are they right now? Are they happy? Are they looking to make a move? And then secondarily, what's their motivation? If you don't know what you want out of life, you're certainly not going to achieve it. So understand that when people have goals and they have dreams, it's easier to get an emotional investment from them because you're talking about a future date where they're already there. What does it look like? What does it feel like? You got to set the table. We can't set the table if we don't know what they want on it. And just be a little bit better than you were yesterday. Each day, a little bit better commitment to yourself. Commit to giving 100%. Commit to getting better. Commit to staying positive. Commit to having the team vision. And commit to each other. This is an environment where we want to feed off of each other's positivity and learn from each other. So if you've got skill sets that you can share, it's what places like the Facebook group are for. And if you've got questions or you lack or you have deficient skill sets that you're working on, ask for some help. Remember, this is not just about working hard. This is about working smart and working on the right thing and bringing innovation to the marketplace so that you can capitalize. Remember, innovation is nothing more than something that unlocks new market value. If you're the innovator, you're the disruptor, you're that first mover, then you should be able to take advantage of this, and it should be money. We've got innovations with financial education, our mission. People buy into what you are, why you do what you do. You know, everybody can say what they do. A number of people can say how they do it. Very few people can say why they do it. When you explain to the open marketplace why you're doing what you do, they get behind it. And then internalized within that mission is we have disruptive technology and we have a model built on financial team building. It's a home run if you put it together right. Now, it's not going to fall in your lap. It's not going to happen in 60, 90 days, but it will be. This is a leadership factory. The more that you can embrace that position, the more ability you're going to have to go out and build what you want. The way that I look at this, and when it was finally explained to me how I put all this infrastructure together, WealthWave, WFG, Virtual Financial, is that I'm building, and you are, and we are together, we're building a company within a company. So if we weren't around, all of this stuff, this infrastructure still exists. So I come in, and you come in, and we come in to use this infrastructure to build a company of our own within a company. And once you start operating that mindset, things start to click and become more clear on what you need to do and why. One of the things Alana, hit on in her talk to you guys was continue to build your list. Don't just get data, send some stuff out, and then trash your data. You always want to be building lists because times change, people change, opportunities that weren't there at a good time in the past may be there right now. So you want to constantly get in front of people, not pestering them to buy products, not pestering them to join your company, but providing education. And that WealthWave system will do that for you. But 7 ways to add value, power, passion, mystique, prestige, alarm, rebellion, and trust. So how do I provide value? By getting in front of people constantly with things that can improve and enhance their current position. Also, if you are sending out emails and you are getting very little to no opens, then the first place and the only place you should be concentrated on right now is the subject line. That's telling you that your subject line, for lack of better words, it sucks. And it's not enticing anybody. It's not creating enough interest to be open. So half the battle in the email marketing campaign is to get that subject line to a point where people are actually interested enough to open it, because you can have great content, you can have a great call to action inside the email, but guess what? Nobody ever gets to that point. They're never going to see it. Talk about value, and this is about going back. When you do talk about the company, when you do talk about products and services, you don't talk directly about that. You talk about the value of having some of this stuff in place. You talk about the benefits of having some of this in place, not the features of the product or service itself, but the value and the benefits of having it as part of their financial plan, as having it as part of their business ownership opportunity, whatever it might be. One of the things that I had to learn, that Alana had to learn, that a lot of you guys have to learn, not coming from a hiring or recruiting background, is that it's a learned skill. And if you have a number of no-shows, it starts to at first get frustrating, and then you get angry, and then you start to refine your game and push people to the point to make sure they understand, hey, this is an appointment. It's going on somebody else's calendar as well as mine, as well as yours. You need to be available for that call. You're going to be there, right? And then Calendly with the paid version or whatever else you guys are using out there, it has ways to send email reminders, text reminders. Remember, a no-show and a cancel, two different things. If you get a cancel, that means you've done your job. You've got the filters, you've got the reminders out there. It's okay. Sometimes a cancel can be a permanent. Sometimes it can just be a time and date change. On the other hand, if you have a no-show, that means it's gone on the calendar. There's been no cross-communication since that time, and you get on, you get in your virtual office or wherever you are, and no one shows up. So remember, reminding somebody multiple times is not annoying them. It's if I'm interested in what you have to offer, a reminder is going to be well received. And like I said, I use Calendly. It gives you the ability when somebody, if you get out there with a calendar link before they get in front of you with all the Zoom and everything else they have, 15 minutes is plenty for an intro call, and they can block that. And that gives them an opportunity to go and pick a day and a time that works for them. And also for me and you, it creates a contact form because I ask for their name, I ask for their email address and phone number, any notes they want me to know about the meeting going in. Now, if they make it or they don't make it, I've got a contact form. And once again, that goes back to building lists. You are collecting data and organizing that data in an efficient way, because if you do that, how big is this list going to be 36, 48 months from now? It's going to be pretty huge. On the other hand, if you neglect to fall into these steps and do what we've learned that we need to do, then you're going to be stuck at the same points over and over and over again. Remember, knowledge is power, but enthusiasm pulls the switch. So in our industry on the client side, financial education, all of this stuff that people fear, money, you've got to bring the enthusiasm because they're probably not. There's nothing that's going to be enthusiastic from their side about a term of living benefits policy. Now, you have to provide that. So nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm. Financial services, insurance, these are not impulsive buys. They're not things that people get excited about. You have to provide the enthusiasm because you know what you're doing for the client is of great value. This is a method that somebody uses online. Excuse me. It's called the LINK method. It's find, connect, engage, build, and convert. Build, engage, sell, whatever you want to call it. It's all the same thing. So when you guys look at 800 LinkedIn systems out there that you get hit with, hey, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this, understand it's nothing more than building your audience, engaging your audience with value-based content and messages, and then converting or selling to those people at the appropriate time. You can't automate this full process. If you were, people like you and me would not be necessary. If we can go from LinkedIn automation to customer automation to application automation, guess what? We're out of a job. So there's a human element that you need to provide here. And that's the tier one contact. That is the key to your business. That tier one contact is opening conversations that lead to video information, that lead to confirmation, that fuel the rest of your circle. If you're having enough of this in the beginning, then you should probably have some no-shows. You should probably get frustrated. It's all just an experience in those no-shows and those failures and those times that you trip over yourself on the phone. Those are all paving the way to your eventual success. Without those bumps, you're never going to get to the end point. You can't just skip all that and get to the end point. Wish you could, but it's just not that easy. If it was, everybody would be in here doing this. Tier one contact, really, like Alana said, it can just be as simple as a hello. Hey, how are things going? What's going on? Anything new? Whether it's your warm market, your common market, whoever it is, during times of disruption like this, we talk about great number of people and a great amount of money is on the move. Learn how to open conversations. Even if you're introverted, even if you're somebody who likes to be by yourself behind a computer, you have to break out of that a little bit. Remember, it's not face-to-face interaction. It's, verbal and screen share. Most of the time on the front end, it's just verbal. That's leading to somebody else doing the rest of the work for you. So just learn how to open conversations, get out of your shell a little bit, understand. I'm not asking you to convince, rebuttal, or close people. I'm just asking you to say hello. How are things going? Tier one is important. It leads to the ABC, and it gives us opportunities to pivot It gives us opportunities to make decisions. It gives us an opportunity to build our business like we want to, not just a mass influx of people coming in, thrown against the wall to see who sticks, but is this person a qualified partner? If so, we're going to make a commitment to each other. If this person is not, and there's a reason that, like a time factor, because they already have a couple businesses that are successful, we're going to use the ABC as a pivot where we try to get into client services. So understand that the tier 1 contact and confirm leads to the ABC, and the ABC leads to 3 different outcomes: potential partner, potential client, or neither. And from that point, you have enough of those 20 ABCs per month that are actually made, scheduled and completed, should get your business going in a pretty good way. What does your audience need to hear from me? They don't need to hear a pitch. They don't need to hear about death and despair. They want to hear certain things. And your persona is going to identify. If your persona, for example, on the partner side is an insurance agent, real estate agent, CPA, whatever it might be, you're talking to that persona as they are. Ask for what you want. And that's the hardest thing for a lot of people coming in. They're timid. They don't want to upset or rock the boat, so they'll just tiptoe around. I'm very direct now because I don't have time to waste, and you guys shouldn't have time to waste, or you don't have time to waste, and you shouldn't feel like that you're forced to bring people in or forced to have conversations that you find no value in or really no opportunity to help. Learn how to attract and hire talent. At the beginning, you're going to hire some people, and you're going to look back at a certain point in the future like, wow, I wouldn't give that person 60 seconds. Nothing against them. It's just that you've refined the process and you get better at what you have to do. And then you start to identify and attract talent. And that's when your business really starts to change. And you get that from branding yourself. Yes, virtual, WealthWave, all of these things are great, but you are the brand on the front side. And when you create a brand around who you are, what your message is, why you do what you do, you're going to attract a certain audience. And that audience should be people like-minded that you would want to be around anyway. And if you bring them in on the client or partner side, it's a real smooth transition. Remember, if you are a brand, you need to have a focus. What's your focus? Be genuine. Don't be that person taking pictures in random places with other people's cars and, at some place. If you are starting a business and you've been in a business for 60 months or for 6 months and you're out there saying how successful you are, that's not authentic. Authentic and genuine is going in and say, hey, I've been in business for myself 6 months. These are the obstacles I've run into. These are the successes I've had. People are going to buy into you. You're going to tell your story. You're going to be consistent, and you're going to be ready and willing to fail on a daily basis as you're building this out. You got to create that positive impact. People have to want to be around you and see what you post. Follow successful examples in and out of the industry. Live your brand. Let other people help tell your story. When other people start to buy into you and share that user-generated content, that's a good sign. And above all, have fun with this. If you're not out there lying, you're out there telling the truth about who you really are, it should be a pretty fun experience because, Gary Vee once, I was watching a webinar or some type of recorded video, and a guy was asking him in the mortgage business, he's like, I'm a small-time guy. He's like, how do I compete with the big guys online? Gary said, be real. Be authentic. If you're driving to some closing and you spill a coffee on a pothole on yourself, share it. People want to hear about your life. They don't want to hear, all these false images and false stories about the way that you want to be perceived online. That's very, very important. What's your story? And when you start telling your story in a clear, concise, articulate way that makes sense, people are going to buy into you. What are you doing? But more importantly, why are you doing it? And then you got to create an online marketing schedule and strategy that you're going to have to pick up some skill sets along the way. I always farmed out all of my tech stuff on my other businesses. That came back to haunt and hurt me in this business where other people relied on me to do some of this stuff. So understand those skill sets that you're building inside this business is going to be a wide range, but understand that each one of those that you pick up carries tremendous value for your ability to lead and build multiple offices because now preemptively you can overcome some of those same problems that you had for your partners before they even encounter those. And that's really what this downline experience is all about. Education is going to be the key to your success, the key to your partner's success, the key to your client's success, and we provide that. We lead with education. E to E, how money works, all of these things. We're educating people into making decisions. We're not selling people products. We're not recruiting people into a business. We're educating people to make decisions that are going to work best for them. And remember, the secret ingredient really online, and we're a digital marketing company, we're a digital marketing organization, is you got to learn to tell stories. And if you're not somebody that, says, I'm not good at creative writing, I'm not good at content writing, once again, it's going to be a skill that you have to develop and you have to hone, you have to get better at. Effective conversion processes, they tell stories. By incorporating stories into your content, they're less threatening. They're not a pitch, and they're easier to like. You can get your same information out in a bunch of different ways and get a bunch of different reactions. If you craft it in a story-like format, transformation or something, then it can help you become more trustworthy, and it can attract a lot of what's going on. Words are very, very, very important. Not only what you say, but what you don't say. And you need to learn how to read people instantly. Now, in the beginning, you're not going to be able to do this. In the beginning, I treated all of my leads equal. They all got the same amount of attention from me. But now, like I've told you guys, I can listen to somebody's voicemail. If they're not serious about life, or if I can't understand what they're saying, how am I going to work with them and help them? So I will, dump that lead, and I'll chase somebody who I've talked to that said this person would be a perfect fit from our organization. So I chase talent, and I dump people that I don't think I can help for one or more variable reasons very early on. That's going to be a system that you got to develop. It's not something that you can just jump into. You want to be working all your leads in the beginning pretty much the same, but understand, as you develop this skill set, you're going to be able, just like you're sitting down playing poker, sometimes it's not about the cards, it's about reading the rest of the table and understand how to make your moves. Also, you got to listen like a leader. If people come and bring you problems as a partner, they bring you problems as a client, whatever it might be, you can't get fixated on the problem. As a leader, we get fixated on the solution. How are we going to solve this? Other people, they just want to talk about the problem all the time. Let's talk and just continually recycle what's going on. No, let's find a solution. And whether I'm on the phone for an intro call, a help call, whether I'm working with a partner who's been here 9 months and having a problem, I want to listen to them first and get the whole idea of what's going on, and then I want to come in with a solution. Some people, and this sounds crazy, you can come in with a perfect solution. They don't want to take it. They're too busy fixating on the problem. We can't help those kind of people, and that just goes back to reading the situation. And then from this, you're going to master the art of execution. And from that, your business model is very easy. You really are just putting people in appropriate slots. I'm not trying to sell people. I'm not trying to recruit people. I'm inviting people, talking to people, solving people's perceived or known problems, and then I'm just, putting them in the appropriate slots. Once you understand your business model, the emotion comes out of it, and then you start making data-driven decisions. Then it's all about just building and scaling your operation. Remember, when you talk about yourself, what you do all the time, people tune out. But when you share relevant content and resources that fit your prospects' value identifiers, they're actually looking forward to hearing from you. If you're posting the same thing every day, it's just like a rapid-fire gun, same exact content every day, all the time, and it's mostly about you, people are going to tune out. If you're providing them with information, education that's improving their lives right now as an entrepreneur, as an insurance agent, as a small business owner, as a self-employed person, then those people will gradually over time, as you build that audience, you'll build that rapport, trust, credibility without really doing anything than just offering value in the marketplace. Not to pick on this person, but this just happened to come through my LinkedIn feed at the time I was making this presentation for you guys. What about me? That's all I thought about when I was reading this. Hope the message finds you well. Recently, I'm semi-retired from the construction industry, currently working on taking small projects that interest me right now. Exciting news that I have, and I'm not going to read this whole thing, but how many me's and I's are in this thing? So then thank you for your support. No one cares about us. No one cares about me. No one cares about you. They care about themselves, and anything that you can get in front of them to pique their interest on how you can improve their current situation, their life, their business. That's what they want to hear. They don't care a blank about you and what's going on. That's just not the way the world operates. So when you get this type of messages out, expect almost a 0% conversion. When you get the messages out that we use, that's inviting people to talk about themselves, it builds interest in what we do by, on the front side, showing interest in what other people do. Your followers are value valuable piece of advertising. So you have to understand your audience as you build those. It may not have immediate value now, but over time, and Alana's, I think, right at about 30,000 connections in LinkedIn, those are valuable, and your engagement will go up. People responding back to your messages in a larger audience go up. Engagement still matters, and you've got to create content that will encourage engagement, and you've got to advertise live events. This is probably, if I had to pick a deficiency in my marketing, it would be this bottom one, advertise live events. So that's something I've got to work on. That's something I've got to break through, and I've got to start to do it, whether it's the master classes and how money works or whether it's just going live on Facebook. This is something that I've got to work on personally. Everybody's got different stuff they need to work on, but understand, putting yourself out there, getting outside the comfort zone is only going to help. Even if you trip and fall over your face, or, I was watching a Damon John video on LinkedIn the other day where his chickens interrupted his podcast. So things are going to happen. It's life. It's real life. It's not a Hollywood production. Put yourself out there. And if you're worried or you just don't know, if you sit down at the Facebook or you sit down at LinkedIn and say, I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing, look it up. 70 killer content ideas to post on social media. Remind people of who you are, how you got started, get behind the scenes, share a personal story. There's 70 of them here. There's 116 ideas for visual content, visual marketing ideas for your business. Famous quotes, all the way down the line. So don't sit around and think about what you should be doing. Other people are already doing it, and they're laying out infographics that tell you exactly, hey, this stuff works. And also remember, words, when we talk about our advantages, we're not going to go into some long diatribe about everything that we've done since 2004. You're going to put somebody asleep. When people ask about, our value proposition, how we're different, I say we've got 6 main advantages. Number 1 is market. Number 2 is social media. Number 3 is compensation. Number 3 is administration. Number 3 is a systems advantage. And number 6 is technology advantage. I don't go into all those. I say those are the 6 because what you'll find is that if you're confident in answering a question short to the point, people will take that as an answer. If you're unsure, if you say, well, and they feel weakness from your side, they're just going to pry in. They're going to go for the kill. So you have to be the most confident on the phone, explain stuff in a clear, concise, articulate way that gives you a position to remain in control, and then understand that other people in our industry, if this is you, then you're following with what I call the herd. If this is not you, then you're separating yourself from the herd, and you're going to get better results. People are not following up. They're not answering lead inquiries. They're not getting back to people. They're barely attempting to make an effort here. You can create a massive amount of leads in this business and never go anywhere. And I've seen people that are very good at marketing, but they have 0 follow-up skills. Anything that you do, whether it's a client or partner, is going to require follow-up. If you're not willing to follow up, then you have to be willing to accept the price for that, which is a fraction of the revenue and income and growth that other people will experience. Chase talent. That's what I said. Now, I'm not chasing everybody, but if there's somebody that I really want, and just like any other talent scout, I'm going to go after it. Like a recruiter in a basketball or a football program that continues to reload, like the Duke program with high prospects, that's a program. That's a system. They know how to go out there and recruit talent. You need to do the same thing. It's not going to happen probably in the first couple of interactions. You've got to have a number of positive interactions that builds a relationship and warms this up. Like I said, I'm not chasing people that I don't think I can help, but I am chasing people that I know that I can help and can help me as well. You don't want to be, going back to the words, you don't want to get on the phone with follow-up and be that creepy person and, hello, it's me, and, did you watch the... You've got to bring some enthusiasm. You've got to bring some confidence on the phone, and you've got to have a system. Whether you're doing an intro call, whether you're following up, if you're just going to wing it, then you're going to find that your conversations go nowhere. You've got to have a defined objective or a target to even a follow-up text or a follow-up phone call. Where are we leading this conversation? What do we want to come out of this? Because if you don't know, you're going to be talking in circles, and this is what it looks like. And this is not business growth, guys. This is working hard, but not working smart. Financial literacy is a big problem. So if you're looking at the potential problem and you look at, okay, I understand that the rich get rich solving problems, is a huge problem. So if you're talking to somebody and the magnitude of this problem, which creates a equal opportunity, they don't see this, talking to the wrong person. Rich people choose to get paid based on their results. I'm in this company because I'm here to solve problems, build massive distribution, and get paid accordingly for those efforts. Poor people choose to get paid based on their time. The filter that I use first, like I always tell you guys, the cash flow quadrant. Somebody's looking for a job, they're employee-minded. That's fine. They can stay there. I'm not trying to flip or change somebody's mindset. I'm looking for the right type of people. The 7 money milestones in the book, when you talk about using the book, it can be another marketing leg. So when you guys are looking at how do I get my leads per month, and you have a limited amount of leads and you have only LinkedIn, you need to develop some other marketing legs in a way that at the end of the month, after a certain time period where you have data to support this, I know that my book campaign gets me this, I know that LinkedIn gets me this, I know that Facebook gets me this, and so on down the line. And if you have 5 or 6 good marketing legs, then you've got a trickle of leads coming in from every leg, and it sets your business up very well. If you're using the How Money Works book, you have to realize that in that, besides the 7 money milestones, there's a lot of information in there that's just, it's simple things that people can do. On average, 2018, they lost average American household $1,230 just by not knowing basic household financial issues. Almost 20% lost $2,500. So that lack of financial literacy is costing hundreds of billions of dollars per year. Well, on a very simplistic basis, if we took that money that's basically leaking out from not knowing basic financial information, and we actually stopped that leakage and we invested that over a 20-year period of time at 6%, 1230 turns in almost 50 grand, 2500 turns in almost 100 grand. And remember, these are basic things that people can do. Enough of these basic things, enough of financial literacy, enough of how money works will make enough good decisions to turn the tide in their favor instead of against them. Rule of 72. Some people in WealthWave make their entire business model around leading with this question. Do you know the rule of 72? Because it is a powerful concept that's either going to work against you or for you. And you can see Bob and Bill earning 1%, earning 8% on 25 grand. What happens? I don't have to explain this concept to you guys, but a lot of people out there do not know it. You can lead with a question like this, open a lot of conversation. So if I led with, hey, do you know the rule of 72? They say no. Hey, you need to watch this video. I'm sitting in the rule of 72 and I'm following up. Well, what did you learn? So you open conversations easily here by educating and following up on that education. And just going back to, we've got trillions of dollars in CDs, money market accounts, and you can see that they're earning nothing. And applying the rule of 72 to this stuff, you're talking about 112, 86, 67 years for their money to double. Average interest rate on a savings account right now, 0.09%. So all of this stuff, if we look at what's going on in the herd, in the mass, in Main Street, why in the world would you have your money in a CD earning nothing while the bank's just, using that as an opportunity to go out and invest and make more? At 0.09%, guys, just on savings, it would take 800 years for their money to double. Going back to the book, I say, hey, we have a book, and if I get back in front of somebody, I'll say there's 7 money milestones, and if I don't get a reaction off the money milestones, I'll go into, hey, also in there, you probably read, there's 4 threats every wealth builder must conquer. Number 1 is procrastination. Number 2 is inflation. Number 3 is losses. And number 4 is taxes. Now that you're aware of those threats, if you had to name which one that you think is most important or that you must conquer that's causing you the most problem, which one is it, Mr. or Mrs. Potential Client? And they're going to tell you, and you carry the conversation based off that. However, what you will learn and what we see is that our message, our mission is strong enough that it will produce partners, it will produce clients, and as importantly, it'll produce this bridge over to referrals. If people buy into what you're doing, even though it's not for them, they're more than willing to pass the information out to somebody else. And that comes back to the why, the mission. But if you're using these books and just sending them out and not following up, then you're basically a free book distributor, and you might as well take your whole box of books and throw them in the garbage. This is a marketing leg. Same thing like on LinkedIn. If you're not following up, if you're not initiating the communication, nothing's going to happen. So understand the book is a great piece of marketing if it's used correctly, which, like everything that we do, requires follow-up. requires positive interactions. I'm going to go through, we don't have enough time today, but I'm going to go through and post in the Facebook group a quick tour of like my LinkedIn and my Facebook stuff that I use. You guys can understand how you should be positioning yourself online, what information should be there, and to make sure that you're not falling in, for example, on LinkedIn, like the profile of someone who's just like working. Your profile on LinkedIn should be a showcase of your services, what you do, why you do it, how you do it. And I'll take you guys on a quick tour of my resources, how I set them up, so you guys can kind of follow those, as well as what's in the WealthWave team channel. But I wanted to end today, and we're not going to have any questions today because we actually lost one of our original partners about a week or so ago. Joe Hancock passed away. He was one of our first few hires, instrumental in getting the business off the ground. And so we just want to take a minute to recognize Joe, what he did for the foundation of this business, and just kind of close it out right here. So I wish you guys a very, very good day, best of the rest of the week. If you're struggling with parts of your business, please let us know, because we probably struggle with that too, building it.